morning, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the JC News. Today's episode is brought to you by Jolie McHale. Today, we're going to talk about a very important topic, a topic that's not exactly highlighted by the media or society, and there also aren't many researches about this topic, but that's what I'm here for. Today, we're going to talk about children, more specifically immigrant children. Children who leave their friends, family, and loved ones behind. They leave their home country to move to a new place that they don't know anything about. Children who face a lot of challenges in their education, identity development, and figuring out who they are, which may result in some mental disorders because of such big step. Today's episode, we're going to talk about three important theories: symbolic interactionism, hierarchy of human needs, and propinquity theory. First off, we're going to have Emma tell us about symbolic interactionism. Take it away, Emma. Thank you, Julie. I'm really happy to be here today. Symbolic interactionism is a micro-theory that concentrates on how individuals attach meaning to a situation and how it influences their behavior. The theory focuses on the human mind and how it intervenes between what we observe and how we act. The human life is impacted by life experiences and personal events that impact a lot of their behavior. People's behaviors is based on how they view themselves and others. And that's all I have for today, Julie. Take it away. Thank you, Emma, for your input. Many things that we do in our daily life, our behavior, reactions, and everything are influenced by what people say to us and their actions towards us. And accordingly, we act either positively or negatively. And that's a great example of what symbolic interactionism is. And the immigrant children also go through the exact same thing. When an immigrant comes to Canada, they usually have a language barrier, and therefore people start excluding them or make fun of them. And that immigrant, they end up being an introvert, or they exclude themselves from everything, or they would just be put on the side. Or let's say on the other hand, if an immigrant comes to Canada and they find a lot of teachers that try to help them to become better, to know the language and everything, they will be more successful and they work more on improving themselves. At the end of the day, it depends on how society acts around you, and accordingly, your actions result. And next up, we have hierarchy of human needs. Take it away, Tom. Oh, sorry, didn't see you there, Jolie. So the hierarchy of human needs are 5 independent stages that need to be met in order for a person to feel self-actualization. So the stages are physiological needs, then safety needs, which are both known as the basic needs. And then we have belongingness and love need, which are both in the same stage. And then we have esteem needs, which are both known as the psychological needs. And then lastly, we have the self-actualization needs. So on the slide right here, you're gonna see the triangle that has the hierarchy of human needs. So first, it starts off with physiological needs, like I said, such as food, water, warmth, and rest. Pretty straightforward, if you may ask. And then we have safety needs, which are security and safety. I mean, who doesn't need these? And then we have belongingness and love needs, which are intimate relations and friends. Can we really survive without relations and friends? I believe not. And then we have esteem needs, which are prestige and feeling of accomplishment. And lastly, we have self-actualization, which are achieving one's full potential, including goals and creative activities. So now you will ask, why do I need to know all of that, Tom? And I'll get there in a second. So according to this theory, people are only capable to move up to the next level if they achieve each stage and all the needs that are required. So you can't move up to safety needs if you don't have all the physiological needs, which are food, water, shelter, and that's obviously straightforward because no one can survive for safety if they don't have food and water. And also, You can't move up to self actualization if you're not surrounded by friends and people who support you. I hope you get my point, Jolie. And thank you for having me today. I hope I was helpful. See you later. Thank you, Tom, for sharing all of that with us today. So basically, the hierarchy of needs are exactly what immigrant teens and children go through in order to achieve self actualization. So basically, simply, everyone needs safety and food. However, immigrant teens and children may not get that simply because their families at the beginning of their immigration process will not have a job and they may not have all the food that they possibly need. Although the government will provide support systems and everything, but at the same time, their life will not be stable until someone gets a job and they feel safe in their new environment. And then we have belongingness and feeling of love. Obviously, language barrier is a big reason why many immigrant children do not feel belongingness. When you don't understand what the other people say, and many people come from countries such as Egypt or Spain or Mexico, all of these countries may not have English as their first language. So when they come here, they have such difficulty to communicate with other people, which may result into bullying. And once they get bullied, they just will take a step back because they wouldn't see the value in trying again anymore. They would rather just stay on the side rather than being made fun of. And then we have self-esteem. When people don't feel belongingness within their community, their self-esteem will not be good. So they will not feel like they're needed, or they wouldn't feel as if they're of value. And then all of that will not result into self-actualization. So that's why a lot of immigrant children have a lot of challenges, especially from the part of love and belongingness, because they can't fit in the community due to language barrier, identity development, and especially identity development. Often parents expect some things from you that the community may not exactly follow. For example, Eastern cultures. Dating may not be exactly allowed, and that will be discussed further in the video that will be shown at the end. Dating is not exactly allowed in Eastern cultures. So when you go to a Western culture where dating is a normalized idea, there will be a gap. You will not feel like you fit in the community. And there are other many things that influence the lack of self-actualization. Next up, we have Mia, who's going to talk to us about the propinquity theory. Oh, thank you, Jolie. So propinquity theory is basically where people are likely to be attracted to a partner who lives in close proximity or nearness to them. Not necessarily only partners, but maybe also friends. They are more likely to become a part of the same group because they are, like, for example, they go to the same school, they go to the same church, have the same extracurricular activity. So they have something in common and they have a place where they can meet. So that's why they become friends. Same idea for the partners. Thank you for having me today. Thank you, Mia, for your great input, and thank you for also highlighting about how propinquity theory applies for friends and not only partners. That just makes my job 10 times easier right there. So, propinquity theory also applies for immigrant children. Children are raised with friends and family that they have known for their whole life, and then one day all of these people are taken away from them once their family decides to take the decision to immigrate, which is a really hard part of their life because they have to restart everything, such as school, new community, new system from scratch with people that they don't even know, without a strong support system because their families are usually busy with settling into their new lives. Yes, propinquity theory is a theory about where people pick each other from a close proximity. However, at the same time, it's not easy for immigrant children to pick someone when they have a language barrier where they can't fit in. And that's where propinquity theory is lacked in the life of an immigrant child. And lastly, we have a small video that's going to show 6 differences or 6 things that immigrant children experience that other people may not understand.
to pronounce your name like the way that your people say it.
I knew when it was coming.
Zer.
I know in their minds, as they were reading it, they were like thinking to themselves like, oh, there's no way I'm gonna be able to pronounce this correctly.
Naguyan, Mr. Nijan, Mr. Nagugian.
Oh, look, there's soybean.
I've had Bianca, I've had Brianca.
I remember my 8th grade teacher calling me Hamas. Didn't really enjoy that very much.
I wish that I could have a Lunchables at school every single day.
Mom, make me Lunchables, make me Lunchables. And she'd be like, well, I am not a corporation that is gonna feed you 3,000 milligrams of sodium. Here is a completely organic meal. And I would be like, that is crap. I want Doritos.
Ugh, Nicole brought her smelly ethnic food again. Get it out of here.
No problems on that front. I ate all the normal stuff. I did see other kind of Indian kids or Chinese kids bring their stuff in, and I remember being like, that's weird.
Those are non-existent.
What is that?
I don't really know what a sleepover is.
Sleepovers for me were basically, you're gonna go over to their family's house and sleep. Right. Everyone in their family is gonna rape you.
We just didn't talk about dating in general because that's not a thing.
There's no dating.
You can't date, you can't date, you can't date, you can't date, and then one magical day, when are you getting married?
My mom was like, embrace your hoitude from a young age.
There's like meeting people, and then 3 days later, you're married.
And I mean, implicitly it was no dating white girls, no dating white girls, no dating white girls, no dating white girls, when are you getting married?
You have a house, why would you like choose to sleep in the woods?
Civilization left the woods behind, so why go back?
Oh, camping was awesome. I had an engineer father. Like, we solar fried hot dogs. Halal hot dogs.
Hello!
Merci, okay.
Yeah, calling cards, white kids never really dealt with that, but it was like the ultimate stocking stuffer in our family.
Oh, inshallah, okay.
Can you hear me?
Bye, Khudafiz.
Lastly, I would like to thank everyone for coming to a new episode of the JC News. Please stay safe and have a good day.